Good morning. This is Pierre Laguerre here, your daily motivator, always here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you. So today on episode 443, I'm going to talk to you about how to 3x your sales. Yup, I have complete confidence that after you listen to this, you're going to change the way you actually go out to your target market, the way you do your marketing. And what gives me the authority to talk about this? Well, listen, I've made six figures in sales before, and six figures especially in terms of commission. So I am absolutely qualified to talk about this. But I'm coming to you from the standpoint of running your own business, and or even from the standpoint of being on a sales team and wanting to triple your sales. Now, the way this is going to happen is quite simple, right? A lot of times we think, well, if I want to sell more, I got to go out there. I got to work hard. I got to get in front of 3 times the number of potential customers. No, that's not exactly what we're going to do. Because I'm going to share with you that you could get in front of the same amount of people, but based on what you put in front of them, in time, you're going to get 3 times more to buy from you than if you went at them with this one thing. What is this one thing? That's what everybody else is doing. They're all going, buy my stuff, buy my record. They sound like a broken record. They sound like buckwheat. But what exactly is going on? They're selling to the top 3% of the market. Now, I hope you've heard this before. The good salespeople, they always are having good quarters. They always are having customers eating out of their hands. Why is that? Because the good salespeople understand one thing. I do not advertise to sell, at least not up front, not at first. What? I thought advertising, the whole purpose of advertising, Pierre, was to sell. Well, if you're selling a commodity like maybe a cell phone, yeah, you are absolutely in the market to sell because everybody else is out there selling. But even then, you still have the opportunity, if you do these things I'm about to share with you, to actually generate more sales because everybody else is in a hurry to sell to any prospect that shows up. So first off, how do you turn your visitors into buyers? Because I could have called this episode exactly that, how to turn your visitors into buyers. Well, number one, you've got to know how to find your buyer. What are you going to do? What are you going to put in front of them? If you go back 2 episodes, I was talking to you about how to identify your target market. But as you go identifying your target market, one of the key things you need to understand is you are a physician. You have to diagnose their problems. You have to speak to their problems so that they understand you are the authority. Because when you diagnose properly, people will say, wow, this is a good doctor. I want to go to him again because he actually asked me the pertinent questions to help me identify what my real issues are. But now, beyond diagnosing, you have to do this one thing, and this is the crux of it all. You have to create goodwill by giving away value for free. What? Let's repeat that. You have to create goodwill in your market by giving away a ton of value for free. Well, exactly what I'm doing here. You have to educate people. You have to educate your potential customers. And education means giving them high value, showing them how things work, giving them some secrets of the trade, helping them understand, look, this is what it takes to do this. This is how it works. And here are the turns. Here's everything. Here's how you put it all together. But at the end of the day, and let me back up one moment, this is what we call permission-based marketing. Others call it content marketing. You've got to have high value content that is of interest to your target market. Now, don't show up with something that's boring. No, they're not going to go for it. You need to give people something that absolutely gets them interested. You've got to give them something where when you put a call to action together, they want to follow. They want to read it. So now, let me give you some quick tips. What type of documents could contain that value? How do you create that value to deliver it? What is the delivery mechanism? Well, one such thing could be a free report, could be a video, could be a cheat sheet, a webinar, a seminar, a teleseminar, or some ebook. Something whereby your potential client, your prospect, is able to consume that information, digest it, and recognize, wow, I just got a ton of value from this guy. I'm going back to him. So the problem is everybody in your market is fighting for the top. Everybody's looking for the person that's looking right now. See, everybody's saying, well, somebody's thirsty. Let me go satisfy their thirst. Nothing wrong with that. However, you've got the majority of the market focusing on that top 3% that are currently hungry and thirsty. But there's a whole 27% under that 3%. They know they have a problem. They're not ready to buy yet. But few, if any, are marketing to them. Very few in your own industry are marketing to them. And then there's a whole, what's that, 70% that's left? 60 to 70%. They basically are not even problem aware. They're not even aware that they have a real problem. But it's coming up. It's kind of like the people who own a house. Someday they want to sell, someday they want to buy another one. So your part is to start addressing them and help them, as they may not even be ready this year. But your job is to keep showing up. Keep showing up with high value. And high value means you're going to create some attention-grabbing headline. You got to put something in front of them, that addresses their burning questions, their pain, their fears, right? But then beyond that, you've got to keep it simple. You've got to keep it simple. Don't try to do something so interesting it turns into a confusing mess. So let's understand again. To 3x your sales, how exactly you're going to do that? Well, if you were selling to the top 3%, let's take an example. Let's say you had 100 visitors come into your website. Because you're selling to the top 3%, you've only got 3% of them that end up saying, yep, I will give you my information. So you got a 3% capture rate. So out of those 3 leads, because 100 visitors came, you now have a 30% close rate, because guess what? They're hungry. They're thirsty. So 1 out of 3 folks actually buy from you. So you make 1 sale out of 100 visitors. Now let's look at the same 100 visitors, but instead of giving them a buy now call to action, you now start speaking to their burning questions. You start delivering the education that they need. You give them a boot camp. You give them a free report. And of course, because most people are looking for that type of information, you'll be surprised that instead of a 3% capture rate, you're getting a 25% capture rate of those that want that free video that's addressing those burning questions. Now, those 25 leads now, right, 25% capture rate, you're going to get about, a 12% close rate. And the reason we're putting that number, it's not going to be as much as the 3 leads that came in and they were thirsty and hungry. Those 25 leads, they're not as hungry all at once, but some of them are. So now your 12% closing rate of those 25 nets you 3 sales. See, 10% would have been 2.5 sales, but 12% now nets you 3 sales. What did you just do? Come on. You just 3x your sales. But how did you do that? Because you were educating the market. You see, you tripled the amount of sales because your main thing, and I need to add this, is that you nurtured those 25 leads that came in. You went back to them day after day and you gave them more value. Oh, it took patience. But guess what? In the same quarter, instead of making 1 sale, you made 3 sales. Or in the same month, instead of making 1 sale, you made 3 sales. Now you tell me which results you're looking for. Seriously, if you're showing goodwill to your market, you are going to make a difference. And of course, I'm going to tell you, stop advertising to sell right away. You've got to get your prospect to raise their hands. If they're not clicking, you are not going to make sales. They can view your videos, for example, on Facebook Live all you want, and they can be in that 3-second number. But in reality, the most important thing is to intrigue those visitors so that they start clicking. Because now when they click, they are showing intent. When they click, they are saying, I'm interested. So I want you to understand with online marketing today, you can easily 3x your returns, but it's not going to happen without educating, without showing goodwill and giving people a call to action to pick up what you've got. My call to action today for you is simple. Go ahead and download your free copy of the cheat sheet, the most profitable business model yet. And what you're going to see in that is 5 different types of online businesses. If you've not yet started any, you need to start thinking about a side business, or at least transitioning if you've got a vision of building yourself a business. As an entrepreneur, it's the most important thing, choosing the right type of business so that up ahead, you know exactly what it takes to keep that business profitable. And of course, if you found value in how to 3x yourselves, feel free to leave me a comment. And most importantly, follow me on iTunes and of course here on Spreaker. I will talk to you and catch up with you on the next episode. Have a great day.